Hello and welcome to today's show. Today's a brand new type of show on the Otaku Gen X channel. I'm Theraguin, the Otaku Gen Xer, and if you like my content, please like it, subscribe, ring that notification bell for me because it really helps me out. Now, since I am a Gen Xer, ooh, hello book. Since I'm a Gen Xer, there are many things that I have watched that maybe some of you younger whippersnappers haven't. And this episode is to go over one such title. Now, this title I discovered through a friend of mine named Feirager. He's a pretty awesome guy. He's my anime watching buddy. When I watch new anime, a lot of times I will watch at least one or two different animes with him on the weekend, syncing up going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and hitting play. But what we're gonna talk about is the anime and manga that he introduced to me when I was getting back into the otaku culture. Prior to this, I wasn't doing much. I had previously been watching some shows on Adult Swim, and then I discovered the streaming services, and I discovered this anime on Crunchyroll, and I fell absolutely in love with it. What anime am I talking about? Well, let's go get comfy, and I'll tell you all about it. Are you all comfy? I hope so. So, today we're going to talk about Oh My Goddess, or Oh My Goddess, or whatever it's called, and we'll get more into that. It's funny how certain anime come along in your life and impact you. The opening song was so beautiful and uplifting. Oh, I loved it. And I could really relate to the male protagonist, Kenichi. He is always down on his luck, in college, struggling in life, but had a heart of gold. He's always doing nice things for others. Well, one day he accidentally phone calls the Goddess Relief Office. And the goddess comes in person to get his request. She pops right out of the mirror and she asks him, what is his heart's desire? Now, he's really embarrassed. He sees this beautiful girl there. He puts the tea set stuff down for her. And then he eventually thinks hard and says, I could do riches. And it's like, no. But she said, you could even wish to blow up the world. But we don't ever pick anyone like that. Well, he finally, looking at this beautiful goddess, says these very words. I would like a goddess like you to stay by my side forever. And with that, Kenichi gets Belle Dandy, and the silliness begins. The classic Oh My Goddess, or Ah My Goddess, is the oldest published manga in the US. It was originally brought over by Dark Horse Comics, and they originally mirrored the artwork and resized it and put it together like it read like an American comic book and graphic novel. Later on, they published it like the manga from Japan and updated the original release content to be like the Japan manga. The manga has 48 volumes with a total of 308 chapters. Now, what's really cool is you can still find some of those original 20 volumes in English in that original format, but they re-released them. And what's funny is the chapter sync was a little bit off, so some of the releases were like chapter 19 and 20 combined together in one book. But this is still a really incredible manga, and it will keep you busy for a while reading through all 308 chapters. Now, the art is incredible. It's from Kyosuke Fujishima. Say that 5 times fast. So Sensei Fujishima is incredible. his love of the characters, the detail of their facial expressions and things like that. But then you go even further. His backgrounds are incredibly beautiful. He loved machines. It comes out in the storytelling and his artwork, from drawing motorcycles and automotive things to even technical watches. It's just so beautiful. So definitely worth the read. And again, you can purchase these at any bookstore, and they have some of them in multiple volumes. Now, as for me, I already own all of them, as you can see, and I even went out and hunted down the special Goddess Colors edition, which has a couple of the chapters in color, and it is so beautiful. And here's some examples of that. Now, many will think that Oh My Goddess is a harem-style anime. Let me morph through this tree and get over here. Yeah, and they would be right. It is a harem-style anime, because you got multiple goddesses living with him. You have Belle Dandy, and then you have the older sister Erd, and the younger sister Scold, and a few other goddesses and demons kind of fall for him as well. But Kenichi is always extremely faithful to Belle Dandy, and that's what's so enduring about him. It's not like the typical harem where you don't have the main protag picking a girl. He's got his girl. It's Belle Dandy. It's just that the rest of the girls are crowding in on the action. So, while there's many girls, Belle Dandy is the main one, and this kind of makes this a romantic series in the more of a male genre of Shinen versus Shoujo, but it's still very romantic. So, some other very interesting facts about Oh My Goddess is that it's also known as Ah My Goddess. Oh My Goddess! Well, the original translation should have been Ah My Goddess versus Oh My Goddess. But then it was too late, and the author kind of liked to play on the words of Oh My God versus Ah My God, and so it was kind of kept. So the mangas are Oh My Goddess, the animes are Ah My Goddess. You gotta look for it under both titles to find all the materials. But it is a really interesting thing because it gets into that translation from east to the west. More about that in just a bit. So, another thing about Oh My Goddess that's with that translation stuff is it's based upon Norse mythology. Now, when we look at Norse mythology, you have the three goddesses of fate that control the past, the present, and the future. So you have Erd, goddess of the past, Skuld, goddess of the future, and Verdandi, goddess of the present. Now, what makes this interesting is when they were translating it from the Norse language, they went through a couple of hoops. So eventually, since there is no V per se in Japanese, it got to be more phonically as a B, and thus Verdandi became Belle Dandy, and then it got translated back into English, and we have Belle Dandy instead of Verdandi, the correct Norse pronunciation. That all said, it is still really, really, really good. That's why we're talking about it here. Now, our last little point is there may be some controversy around this. Part of the appeal as that this sensei, he was old-fashioned, and he believed that the woman should kind of be helping out with the home, and he made Belle Dandy just like that. And I can see where that would upset a lot of folks today. So, like I mentioned before, I was getting back into the otaku culture. So why don't I own any of the figures of the series? And I would love to have some. I purchased every single manga, as I showed earlier, DVD, and all that. I even purchased the cute little spin-off series called The Mini Goddesses, which, if you're lucky, you can kind of watch this stuff on YouTube. So you can pretty much watch all of this on YouTube, except for Season 2. Reason being is the license has expired, and Funimation owns the license to Season 2, and you can watch that on Funimation, you can watch it on Hulu. Those were the two places I found it. It's Oh My Goddess, Flights of Fancy, yes. What, you can catch Season 1, the OVAs, and the movie. Did I mention the movie? Yes, the movie on YouTube. Just search for it. So, you can enjoy the anime. Now, if you're gonna watch it, I recommend watching it in this following order. The new Season 1, followed by Flights of Fancy, followed by the new OVAs. And that kind of follows the manga pretty well. They've added some things. Then, as a separate piece of work, watch the original OVAs. I believe there's 4 of them. It's been a while since I watched them. Those are pretty good, but their animation style isn't up to the quality of the later work. Now, the best animation and work, of course, is put into the movie. But the movie doesn't follow the manga. It's not canon at all. But you can think of it as an alternate parallel world. And what's great is since the movie was done back in, I believe it was 2000-ish, the manga adopted some of the things from the movie into its final conclusion. So it's really, really good. So, I hope you've enjoyed everything. Again, remember, I'm Theragwin, the Otaku Gen Xer. This has been Classic Anime Title! Remember, everyone, subscribe if you haven't. I really need the subs. Like and share. We need to grow. And most importantly, when you're playing around in VR, even though you're being puppeteered, be yourself. Be proud of who you are in VR. But just like you're proud of who you are in VR, you don't need to hide who you are in real life. So be yourself and be proud of it in real life. Later!